Hello, Christie. How are you? My name is Peter Bennett. How are you?
Where the drugs is rock and roll.
Smith. How are you? Hey, how you doing? Good. Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, let Pete sit down.
Place here is turning into.
Why don't you bring one of the chairs over down? Little Pete can sit down.
That's great. What's going on?
Oh, yes. Are they sitting here? What's going on? I don't know. I'm doing fine. How are you?
Hey, good to see you, Lou Christie. Teddy Smith right here, WPAT. Mr. Bob O'Brien. Well, it's a pleasure that you're here. It wouldn't be the same without you, of course. And welcome to a studio that's live, and it's full of interesting, wonderful people. As you can see, the lights are
I can't believe
we have your albums here.
But first of all, I couldn't find the damn place anyhow.
Look at this. It's like
wandering around down here.
It's almost like near Ground Zero where you
is,
right?
It's on the basement or what?
They gave me, everyone kept giving me a different, well, I said, no, that's South William. No, William. And, it's like, I went around in circles, but anyhow.
So you filled in for Bobby Rydell over the summer at Westbury, is that right?
Well, I probably about the last 10 shows I've filled in for Bobby, and it's been an ongoing thing for me for 20-some years, because if Frankie leaves or Fade leaves or, then but Bobby's been out for a while, and so we sort of take it show by show.
Of course, you're going to be appearing at Westbury again soon, is that right?
Next weekend.
Tell us about that experience, or everyone should be there. That's all they should know. But the experience is definitely an experience.
I've been touring for many years. I was there last month, and this doing the show. I think the Shirelles are on the show. Shirley Austin, and the Tokens.
And the Lion slept tonight, and Jay Siegel. Good.
Slept tonight. I hope he doesn't.
Hey, it's in Rockland County where I grew up in Suffern. I think it's from Spring Valley, New York, as a matter of fact. I grew up in Suffern. And a lot of great people came out of that area, including Jimmy Webb. I used to teach his kids martial arts up at Tuxedo Park, New York, was Jimmy Webb.
One of the best.
And one of the best rock and roll promoters, Peter Bennett, sitting to your left now, promoted everyone. I guess he's going to hopefully promote you again, or what do you?
Let's go, Pete. Let's go. Get it rolling here one more time.
Yeah. So Lou, it's a pleasure that you came down here. I want to thank you, Jim Petrecca, Bob O'Brien, everybody, John Luke, and Pete Bennett for setting this up this evening. What sort of advice or would you like to give aspiring rock and roll singers
advice?
Out there? You don't like that word, do you?
In 20, what year are we in?
2012. Is there any
advice for someone in 2012 right now? Take the things out of your ears. I don't know. Everyone's got something stuck in every orifice in America. It's like up their nose and their ears. It's like, oh my God, what are these people listening to? I hope it's our music. I don't know.
Yes, but you also like classical music. I understand.
I do.
Who's your favorite classical? What is your favorite? Is it Mozart or is it Chopin?
I like Chopin. Let's see. Yeah.
Does that mean it's warm or is someone banging on the wall?
Put some air conditioning.
Oh, is it warm? I didn't know what happened to my jacket. But
It's a bizarre summer, wasn't it?
It was very bizarre.
I don't know. If I hear it and feel it, I like it. Whether it's Puccini or something. But
you like that Italian music, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't most people?
Enough beats in my life. It's in my blood, so. It comes very natural,
You have a great website there. You even have 45s that Bob O'Brien plays every night on the old request show. 45s on your website. He has. We're going to play some 45s in a couple, just like Cousin Brucey does on the Sirius Radio, XM radio channels. I know you met Bruce Morrow and Pete Bennett. Who are some of the people?
I do my own radio show. I'm doing. I do 60s on 6, and I do them like just one week out of the month. Pretty much that's what it's averaged out to do. But I'm doing this next week, which I think starts on the 25th or something like that. I'm doing 50s on 5, because the 50s is really what spurred me on and really inspired me to get into the record business, and I loved all that music.
Who are some of the greatest people of the 1950s that did inspire you in rock and roll? That did?
Oh, well, I mean,
you could talk about the Do-Nots, but we could talk about
when you hear Earth Angel, and by the Penguins, I mean, that was just one of the great classics of all our generation, you know. And of course, in the Still of the Night. But I like, even prior to doo-wop, I mean, I like the people like Joni James, which the Duprees, you know, copped a few songs off of, and
yeah, you promoted them too, right? Who didn't you promote?
And
we'll find out in a few minutes. Yes.
You know, a lot of I like the McGuire sisters, and so sad to say that Dorothy passed away a couple days ago. You know, the McGuires are Les Paul and Mary Ford. That was all sort of prior to as rock and roll and that music started splitting. You know, from in A&M. But I liked all the doo-wops. I liked the Five Keys. And of course, I came from Pittsburgh, and we really had some doo-wop stuff because that was Porky Chedwick who played most of these, and I guess, coined that whole phrase of oldies. He played oldies before they were oldies. You know?
Exactly. We don't even want to call it oldies. They want to call it classic hits. On our show, we'll call it oldies. Anyway, we don't care about the classic hits, but we love the classic hits. But in Pittsburgh, you grew up, I think it was a suburb outside of Pittsburgh, is that right?
Yeah, it was, we had a farm. My dad had about 109 acres, and, you know, we didn't work at all, not all of it, but a lot of it, you know. We had chickens and pigs and goats and You know, I was a real Italian, you know.
Did you play much rock and roll on the farm?
Well, I played, you know, before rock and roll. I mean, my mother played all the big 78 records. She was a very big fan of Peggy Lee's, and she could sing like Peggy. She had a great... My mother sang with the big bands before she was married to my father, which we found out when she passed away.
Really? Tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah, she sang, and she was a great singer to the day she died. And my dad, too, he had perfect pitch. You know, he was one of those Italians with one of those beat-up guitars, and he would, you know, knew 4 chords, and that was it, you know. But he dragged it out every Sunday when we, you know, have dinner, you know. And we had 6 kids in the family, you know. So it was...
So I understand Elton John, John Lennon, Madonna, and some of these great legends have had an effect on you. In what way have they?
Well, you know, I'm just a music freak, you know. I just loved records, you know, and if anyone cuts a great record, I'm there for it, you know. I mean, I like to go back and hear... I mean, the Skyliners are probably one of my favorite groups of all time.
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh, of course. You know, Jimmy, Janet, Jackie, Joe, and Wally. You know, and they were just the best. You know, and that's one group that really said, you know, inspired me to get off the farm. I said, man, they made it from Pittsburgh, and I've got to figure out how to do this.
Hey, Spence, how would you like to come over here and have a new book, and you could put his this gentleman right over, Lou Christie. Just come over the book. So I just want to say hello to Spence Strader, and he has a great book, by the way, out there. And just tell us a little bit about that, if you could, okay?
Well, our book is called...
A little closer.
Our book is called 545s, The History of the 45 Record Sleeve, and forwarded by Lenny Kaye. And I would have loved to have Lou's sleeve in it, but we didn't have that sleeve, you know, but he's a classic. I mean, I met Lou at a Dennis Ferrante benefit, and he's a great person and a great singer. You know what I mean? He deserves all the best. He's a legend.
I'll tell you something. I know Pete Bennett's writing his autobiography, right? You've been writing. That book will be coming out. So great stories about rock and roll. I know Lou Christie, you're probably writing a book too. And if not, I'm sure Spence could help you write the book. Any way you want to do it.
I'm dabbling in all those things that you just said. So
be great, because you have some great stories too. And importantly, your book is all over the world right now. We promote it on our other WPAT shows. You and Judith Solovets is here as well. And what can people get out of this book? I mean, you have some of the greatest designs from the Stones. It's unimaginable. I mean,
yeah, it's a mix from the 50s through it's a mix from the 50s through 2000 plus, laid out page to page in the way that something's going on. But it's we have some great people. I mean, you have like Frank Sinatra in there. You've got Joni James. You've got the Beatles, Rolling Stones. I mean, and about Pete, it's interesting. I'm actually locked in some way because we designed 2 albums for McCartney, and I worked on the trade-ins for Imagine album with John Lennon. That's how I started my career.
Well, I know you have some great stuff, Lou. Do you want to share with some of the new stuff? I know we're going to be playing it right now. I think we're going to play it right now as we speak.
No, we're going to it next.
Oh, we are next?
Go to 18 now.
Oh, go to 18. That's how we do a live show. We just go to 18 and 14. I know when you're over at Sirius, yeah, when you're over at the Sirius Radio, you tape your show over there at on Broadway over there.
Yes. Yeah.
How's Mel Karmazon these days?
He's fine. He's fine. They're all fine over there.
Send Pete Bennett, your best, and also your other buddy, who's a great friend of Mel, which is who? Gary Stevens. Yes, Gary Stevens, and Howard Stern, and Bruce Morrow, and all the great people like yourself and Christie right here at WPAT. Teddy Smith and Bob O'Brien. Joe Franklin coming up next.
I would put in the new CD and go right to number 12, Beyond the Blue Horizon, and then bring Joe in. Put Joe here.
12?
Yeah.
Taken by this.
Segue into 12, then bring Joe's online?
No, that's somebody for one of our listeners for years. Has been with me since 1960.
Okay, so then you want to go to Joe after that?
Yeah, right after that. We'll get Joe on the line.
Okay, so we'll
Alfred from Brooklyn has been with me since day one, and he's dying to talk to you in a second.
I brought this one to the
Thanks for Alfred. We're going to be right with you. Who knows you're on the phone, all right? And thank you so much for being with me. And Peter Bennett is here also, Alfred. God bless you. How you feeling? Thank you. Hold on. Alfred from Brooklyn.
And by the way, the commercials, Bob, you can mention the South Orange Frame Shop. Hey, Jim, the address of the South Orange Frame Shop is on Sloan Street. Who?
6 Sloan Street. What's the number?
Okay, 6 Sloan Street. Yeah. Mention the Blue Moon, the new Paul Scarpa, the greatest club in the world, World American Fitness, Mark the Danza, and Massachusetts, David
Kate Wood is on Facebook.
Great, Kate Wood, mention her. Peter Bennett's on you.
Are you going to get Jerry Reynolds? We'll stop paying.
Call me 12. Try to make it.
Studio. Speaking, how are you, Ron? How's everything? Very good, Commissioner. How you feeling? I'm put you on right after
You
song.
were excited. We're going to do you too. You will be in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on hold just for 1 second, okay? Thanks, Ron. How long was that song?
Walk with the mayors and
Lou?
They'll tell you what to send.
No, this is Ron Gravino, who runs the PNC Arts Center. That's Michael Ross, Commissioner Ron Gravino. What's that? Well, his name is Ron Gravino.
Want to look at it?
Yeah, good. You're going to give me a copy of it. That's right. You're going to take right there. And then I'll get Joe on the phone.
No, you don't. You want to play that before Joe?
Yeah, that's all. Let's say we're going to segue.
every song in your heart and in your book. Right here on WPAT. Teddy Smith and Lou Christie. We're having a good time right here at WPAT with Bob O'Brien. 212-219-9695. Get your Lou Christie song played on the air.
I want Joe to hear this.
Okay.
You get him on?
Okay, next.
On lock?
Yes.
No, I didn't do it. I don't think they played it yet. You're playing Beyond the Blue Horizon. We're not playing Morning Rider.
Yeah.
You know that? Okay.
Next.
Bring Joe in right after this song.
Okay, then what song after that?
Then we're going to go to one of his other new ones. We're going to go to Morning Rider after that.
Okay, what grade is that?
All right, nice talking to you.
Get Joe on.
Thank you very much, Ron.
Next one on the new CD is 3.
Thanks, Ron.
That's a top. On the top or on the
No,
bottom?
it's on the same CD. So
Oh,
you have to
3.
come off,
3.
talk to Joe,
Yeah.
let him talk to Lou, and then we'll go back to
What are we doing on 3? What cut is that?
Who does or you?
Morning Rider.
Oh, yeah.
Morning
That's
Rise?
after Joe.
Morning Rise.
Rider.
Rider. Like Midnight Ride.
Hey, Rick, Bob O'Brien, Lou Christie, and Teddy for Joe. How are you? And Jim Petrecca. And Peter Bennett. We're all here. Everybody, fans, and everybody's here.
Oh, sure.
Joe around?
Oh, really? Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's supposed to speak to Lou Parker. Lou's here with us. How you been? How's Bravo? Doing good? Good.
I heard from Chuck Franklin the other day.
We're going to get you. You're going to get Joseph Arthur in there. We're going to mention it. We'll get him in there.
Yes, amigo. We're going to be right here. We're playing your favorite song now. Lou Christie, Pete Bennett, the whole gang. All right, amigo? Thank you. You're the best. Hold on.
You
Joe
can hear
Franklin on the phone. Thanks.
Joe
Joe's here. He's listening to the song right now.
Hear this song.
And thank you for speaking, Ron.